Alright, I got these Formula Off-Road type builds. Formula Off-Road is an awesome sport that comes from the land of ice, Iceland, where, well, that's where it started, basically. They, uh, they do some pretty badass stuff out there. They have these crazy, like, sand, gravel, steep hillsides that they just mash up with these things. So they have really low suspension travel, really high damping, short travel shocks. Um, I built two of them. This game is a little bit funny when it comes to things that sit really low, and it's one thing I wish they would fix. So this one I have sitting all the way down with zero stiffness. And there's some extra drag that's introduced somewhere in the drivetrain. Like this game doesn't acknowledge the existence of bump stops. And it just lets you drop it until you're apparently like rubbing on the drive shaft or something. That's the only place I could imagine where the extra drag comes from. So this one actually sits just off the bottom so that you can get better speed, but it doesn't. It also doesn't climb as well. So that they made it so that when you drop something all the way down, when your suspension hits bottom, you get extra traction, which makes sense. When you have a bunch of weight that suddenly impacts your axle, it's either going to grab or break. And you don't break axles in this game, so it goes. Um, Let me go through the suspension on them here real quick for you. So this is the one that sits just off the bottom, and I've got it with travel minimized, I'm sure. Yeah. So the stiffness in the front is 14,666, just barely what it takes to pick it up off the bottom of the shocks. And the rear stiffness, oops, is 16,030. Same thing, just barely when it picks it up. Or maybe a tiny, like one notch more, maybe. Let me go through all this stuff here. There's zero axis width. This is the front I'm doing now. Damping 1000, so that's actually low damping. This game, in order to make it work right in the game, it's actually, you want low damping. If you put high damping, it takes a lot longer for this to bottom out, and it doesn't grab as quickly. So that's what I ended up doing. Shock size doesn't matter. Stiffness, I did. Travel minimized. Yeah, all that doesn't matter. Rear axis is 0. Damping is 1000. Shocks 0. And stiffness 16030. Travel minimized. No rear steering. And the tires. Wheel radius 1.0. Width 2.0. Just wide as can be. Come on, go back. And the gears might just be my low gear set. Oh no, 3.0, 1.4, 0.9, 0.7, 0.6. Didn't change them much because the tires didn't change much in radius. Of course, I haven't driven this one as much as I've driven the other one, so I may end up changing the gears on that one as I test it out more. We'll see. Come on, move. Move the camera. All right. Oh, wait, no, I don't want play. I want tuning. Got to go through the suspension on this one. So this is the one that sits all the way down flat, and it goes up a lot steeper stuff, a lot better. Neither of them are really great at rocks, but if you can get them started up something, they stick to rocks pretty amazingly well. Of course, it's hard to get them started up, but I was messing around at Woodlands and found myself climbing stuff almost like making it up. I wouldn't make it over the top because once you crest over the edge, you just get stuck on your bottom. But it was climbing up and sticking to rocks like crazy. So axis width in the front is 0.11. Damping 100, so nothing. Stiffness is 1000. Travel is, oh yeah, stiffness is minimized. Travel is minimized. And In the rear, axis width is 0.15. Damping is minimized. Stiffness is minimized. Travel is minimized. And I got a tiny bit of rear steering on this one. So I'll take you out and show you what I mean. Oh, let's see, it's already equipped. Load on trailer. There's a couple things that they could change that would make these kind of builds a whole lot better, and a lot of other things too, actually. Is one, they could get rid of the extra drag that I will demonstrate for you. Because when you lower something all the way down, it's like they let you rub on the drive shafts or something. It doesn't make any sense. Alright, so this is the one that doesn't have, you know, the extra drag introduced. And you can see it takes off. Just wants to keep accelerating. But if you start like right at the bottom, let me find the steep spot here. If you start right at the bottom of this, it will, well, it made it no problem. Okay. Maybe if I actually get my front wheels up it. Because kind of hitting against it will, of course, bottom out the suspension and make it grab. But if I get like here first, then try and go, well, it wanted to make it there too. I'm trying to make my build fail here. Just a second. Give me a minute. It might take me a bit. So, all right, now I might have a problem. Yep. Although it might just be because my rear wheels are in that ditch. Dang it. I'm trying to demonstrate what I mean about this suspension bottoming out. So when the suspension bottoms out, it will grab a lot better. At least on the dirt, on the, you know, just the regular dirt hills. It just grabs. Okay, let's try this. This looks like a better spot. Okay, you see how it does slip. I mean, it starts whenever the suspension bottoms out all the way, it grabs a hold of a little something. But then as soon as it comes off the bottom again, it slips. And so this tune, and of course, neither of them do as well in the mud as they should. This game does not acknowledge the existence of skimmers, only diggers. I have tried to build a skimmer build. I did it successfully once, but it was an old version of the game, and I don't know if I can do it anymore. I had to do it with chains, the chain tires, and it still had to be like mega high stiffness in order to even be a skimmer, which is kind of still a digger. Like this game only lets you dig and grab traction at the bottom. It doesn't let you skim the mud. Paddle tires are low rated in the mud when they should be high rated in the mud. It's, you know, they could, I don't know how the coating works, but I wish that weren't an issue. Because this thing, even with the kind of high gear, if I get a run at this mud, I mean, you know what Formula Off-Road rigs do in the mud. They just skim it. They fly across it. Like that should have just flew across the mud, but it doesn't. So that's unfortunate. Whoa. Yeah, you can see I'm a little slidey, so it's just not grabbing hard like the other one does, and I'll show you that now so I can demonstrate the difference. First of all, let's see how easily this one just keeps accelerating until it gets to, like, you know, I don't know what speed it gets up to, but so this is the one. You'll notice if I can get a good enough run here. Well, See, even third gear barely is picking up. And I bet once we even shifted into fourth, it would shift into fourth and then bog down and then shift back into third. And just go mere and then back into third. It just doesn't have the acceleration, and there's just this extra drag on it. It'd be better if I like reduced it, you know, lifted it up a little bit, show you how different it is, and then put it back down. But that extra drag on stuff that's dropped all the way down causes a lot of problems for a lot of things, because there's crawlers that would be awesome to do that with, but you drop them all the way down and there's this extra drag, and that needs to go away. That really needs to go away. There's no reason for that. You have bump stops for that kind of a thing. But this one, so you put this against something and look, it just sticks. You're gonna go up it. Unless it's past vertical, hanging over the other way, you're gonna go up it. This thing just, and I'm in high gear. Let's try low. So, well, I hit that glitch ditch again. The tires just glitched through right there in that ditch. So here, low gear with more torque, I still just grab and go. Come on, back off of there. This is what I mean about if you try and crawl rocks, once you get your front end over the edge, you just hang. I don't have a winch. Let's see. And this one does the same thing in the mud. It's not great. Not nearly as good as it should be. These things should just fly in the mud. Oh, I was in low, but still. And where I was climbing the rocks the other day is right here. I was getting up into there, and oh no, I made that one. There was a harder one right along here somewhere. Maybe it's this one. I was actually getting up into the rocks and starting to climb up the rocks in here. Yeah, that's the one. I'm not going to do it right now. You can do that if you build a tune or whatever. There we go. I'm going to get a run at this mud pit in high RPM. Yep, and it just doesn't. So skimmers aren't a thing in this game. That's a bummer. But these things are a blast to drive. They're so flat and low, they do a lot of crazy stuff. It would be awesome if they behaved like they should in mud. And it would be awesome if they got rid of this weird extra drag on the ones that are sitting all the way down. So there's no reason for that at all. But they're still a lot of fun. And you go up anything. I know there's steeper stuff on this map. The desert's fun. The desert has a lot of steep stuff to climb up. I know these things are like not rock crawlers really, but here I am crawling rock. It is fun to just experiment with them, see if you can get them to go up stuff, but they really shouldn't. It's not what they're for. It's just kind of odd how they stick. I mean, it's a lot like a crawler in that respect. You know, if you drop a crawler all the way down, it sticks good too. But of course, it has that same drag problem. And I have a crawler that I'm doing that with. I've been playing around with different crawler tune. But these things are fun. I love them. I wish there were a couple things in the game that were different so that they would act like they should in a couple situations, but they're awesome. I might try some different tires too. Like, I might try the mud tires and see if I can actually get one to skim. I kind of doubt I'm ever going to be able to make one skim like it should unless they change something. But I'm going to keep trying. We'll see if I ever get it. Anyway, these two are still lots of fun to drive as they are. I like them. I love watching Formula Off-Road too. That stuff's amazing. It'd be kind of cool if we had some loose gravel hills or something like they do, but I don't know if that's even doable on this kind of ground to make it like loose. I don't know. Anyway, those are my Formula Off-Road tunes. This is a good picture here. I'm going to take this picture. We'll see you in the next one.